this computer. All right, the recording is officially started. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our special class on AI. My name is Jessica. I'm with MFG. We are MFG, meaning Marketing for Greatness, an SEO agency. And with me, I actually have our amazing co-founder and SEO expert, Alex Rodriguez. He's going to be the one leading this training. Alex has been an amazing mentor for me on how to use AI. Quick use case for me. My mind is always thinking into so many directions and so many topics. And I am guilty of not reading everything thoroughly, answering the wrong emails, and also sending like information that is not comprehensive. Alex has programmed the chat for me in a way that it does think better than I think. It actually structures conversations much better, and especially sales and customer account management conversations. And it's been like a huge difference. I know that he has worked in other use cases for ChatGPT, and he has presented today an amazing information for you. So Alex, I'll leave this in your hands, and then you guys are up for a treat. I'm going to be a student today.
No worries. Jess, when I put my little video here, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Do you see the chat boxes with the squares or no?
No.
Okay, good. Because that's where I have like the video to see everything. I didn't know if anybody could see it. Okay. So, my name's Alexander Rodriguez. I'm also with MFG. And what we do is we try and find ways to help business owners scale. And with the advantages of AI, we also created a sister company called 50/50 AI Marketing. And this presentation has been put together using AI and human expertise. So including the slideshow that we're actually using today is also AI driven. I think when it comes down to AI and incorporating it into businesses, the real goal should be how to utilize it as a tool from a one-to-one perspective versus a one-to-many. So just to quickly go over our agenda, we're going to be talking about the welcome introduction. We're going to show use cases for 4 different industries, including brick and mortar, e-commerce, restaurants, and startups. Each individual example of the industry has a simple, intermediate, and advanced use case. We're also going to be talking about mastering prompt engineering by creating templated structures that you could recreate fairly easily. I'm also going to be sharing slides where you could literally take the screenshot and just replace words so that you could use these immediately either during the presentation on another screen or afterwards. What we're essentially talking about is 4 main principles: specificity, task definition, contextual relevance, and iteration importance, as well as business personas and chatbots. So customizing AI to work with you and your business around your business information and not just a general question. Then we're gonna have some Q&A and then just a closing. Let's see. So welcome to the webinar. It's hosted by Marketing for Greatness and 50/50 AI. Like Jessica said, MFG is a marketing company located here in Texas, co-founded by me and Jess. Jess started it years ago. Me and her have combined 20 years of experience with SEO, SEM, website design, UX, UI, social media management. Our goal is to help businesses stand out with data-driven strategies. So, looking at the data, that's how we're making the best decision to move forward in any particular direction. And today we're talking about how to use ChatGPT to 4x your ROI. 4x because I don't like the term 10x, even though the goal is to surpass 10x. I think if we think incrementally as we implement these strategies that are all brand new, it's better to take your time and pace with it instead of just trying to push it all out there at one time. 50/50 AI is founded on the balanced integration of 50% human experience and artificial intelligence. Our approach amplifies traditional strategies with AI, trying to marry both those insights together. We think by combining AI into your daily functions and operations, you should be able to not only enhance your customer retention, but at the same time deploy various channels of marketing to either one, test, or to just purely implement because it's been missing as a part of your marketing strategy. And as I mentioned before, it's a sister company, MFG, and we're the 50% human experience. Haven't done a webinar in a while. The webinar's goal for today is to help you leverage ChatGPT for your business. But what I wanted to go over first is to kind of see how people are talking about ChatGPT online right now. So on the far left, as an SEO, when you see people posting things about ChatGPT SEO tricks, you start to think you're going to lose your job. Even as an SEO, where I'm fairly confident, I'm always going to be plugged into the internet and how it's working and how it's thriving and growing, I still get worrisome, just like everybody else, when you see a kiosk at Walmart, or you see nobody inside of a Circle K, and it's just you weigh your own food and you pay and you leave. Everything's becoming automated. So here we have an example on the left for finding the right keywords with ChatGPT. You have another AI that could clone your voice with AI. In this example right here to the far right, these original images were just regular video, and what the AI did is it automatically masked them based off text, a text input. So the text said, "Turn this into a robot." That's exactly what it did. On the far left, Jasper came out probably a little bit before OpenAI became a huge thing, and now Jasper is also growing and now becoming an AI writing assistant. And notice how their pitch from a marketing perspective is focused on everywhere you are. Coca-Cola used generative AI to create an entire commercial, which honestly, it's spectacular. And now OpenAI just recently. So when you see all those advertising, which, if you played even a little bit with AI or had a conversation about ChatGPT, you probably received ads on your social media. OpenAI just recently announced that they're launching their official ChatGPT app, which actually it's super minimalistic, and it's actually it's great. It's a great tool to use. But all those other ads you saw before were just from people who, very much like the Wild Wild West. The new thing comes out and everybody runs to build something, and they start pumping it with social media. And then now everybody wants to purchase it because they think they bought ChatGPT, when in all reality, they just bought somebody who is utilizing the API and you think you're using GPT. So let's close this. Since we do have a lot of stuff to cover, I'm sorry if I'm going pretty quick. If you do have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat box. So what I'm going to show is some practical use cases and examples for those industries we discussed. Again, it's simple to intermediate to advanced to illustrate how ChatGPT can be applied to these types of businesses. Also, when you see the red text here, this is more just to kind of point out an immediate text, like what that section's about, instead of having to read the whole section. And I just wanted to also point out that everything in these slides are both written by AI as well as myself. So 50/50 AI, our marketing agency essentially is that it's taking what it gives you as a tool and improving it to match your message and what you would like to say. Everything on this page, including the image, was created with AI as well. So these images were created by me today, actually, inside of Midjourney. So for a brick and mortar store, the basic use case would be product descriptions in an online catalog. You craft vivid product descriptions and deploy online catalog showcasing boutique's unique collection, right? Since every single business is different, an intermediate use would be a social storytelling and branding. So creating engaging stories around the collections or the products that they sell, and then capturing the essence of the brand and resonating with her specific target audience instead of trying to talk to everybody. And an advanced use case would be using existing customer data to create personalized style profiles based off what they purchased in the past. So from the basic standpoint, this is right off the bat, you could use ChatGPT to create these descriptions in an online catalog or social media based off the prompts I show you later on. Same for intermediate use. Advanced usage, you'd most likely have to have your API and have a team implement the backend logic to get ChatGPT to do what you want it to do. But from a use case perspective, immediately after I show you the prompts, you'll be able to create both of these fairly quickly, especially if you screenshot or copy and paste what I show you later. From an e-commerce perspective, we'd say re-engaging past customers with email. So notice here when you read it, it says the business owner employs ChatGPT. I want to also point out, it says the owner also works with ChatGPT. So the way it's describing it is that ChatGPT is a tool, but the more human-like and natural conversations you have with it, it allows you to get better responses. So when the business owner employs ChatGPT, later on, I'll also show you how to create your own personal chatbot that knows everything about your business. So therefore, when you employ it, it's already filled with all the data that's pertinent so that it makes sure that it answers correctly. And once you have that structure, it's essentially a template that you could use across the board every time you use ChatGPT. So for here, it's breathing new breath into old relationships with his customers that potentially an email list that's just dormant and hasn't been touched or no emails have been sent. Intermediate use is, for example, if an e-commerce store has affiliate connections, let's say with Amazon or any other retailer, they could take that retailer's product descriptions and then rewrite them and reinvent them to match his brand. And then from there, at the same time, create that product description to simultaneously make social media captions and hashtags so that once those products go live, he already has a social strategy behind it to promote those products, especially if he's an affiliate, he just pushes them out. An advanced usage case is 24-hour customer service. It could handle anything if you train it to know your systems and know your business. It can handle customer queries, complaints, resolve complex issues, and maintain friendly and reassuring presence at all times, keeping you engaged with your customer whenever time they feel like engaging with you.
Alex, here I want to add, because I know I have some people que hablan en español. ChatGPT can be fully translated, can fully translate your content in multiple languages. So that's a huge win as well.
Yeah, it definitely allows you to create simultaneous content. So like if you instruct it to create social posts in English, you could also create social posts in Spanish at the same time. It'll just rewrite that post that it originally created in English. For a restaurant, they could use it for social media content and reputation management. It could create compelling social media content, capturing the essence of who the pizzeria is, and including stories behind the ingredients they use. This pizza looks delicious, and it was also created with AI. Interactive and personalized customer experience. You create interactive content on, for example, iPads or online, where somebody could just write a couple words, and since the backend data knows what ingredients you have, the user who's inputting like their preferences or this crazy concoction, they get a unique pizza. It's shareable. They could take pictures of it, put it on Instagram, and basically just get people talking. It's different, but some people have already started using ChatGPT to create recipes. All you have to do is just give it a list of ingredients, and it'll come up with a bunch of random meals. But if you dare try some, they are pretty good. I've tried some. They're delicious. And advanced usage would be digital orders, customized suggestions, and nutrition insights. So I believe Wendy's is already using ChatGPT on the back end, and they're already doing digital orders and suggestions. And I think I heard something about Taco Bell also starting to do that. So it's definitely one of those big things that it is going to become more common. Because I think who else is also using it? I think Instacart's also using digital order and customization based off ChatGPT. Okay, so from a startup perspective, I created this as a innovative shoe company. And the goal here is, these type of designs are not very common. So we need to elevate its online visibility, and we could do that with social media content and customer engagement using GPT. And we could create, insider views of what the creative process is to design these shoes. When we get the shoe like this, can we turn it into a 3D rendering and then re-push it out there to try and engage with people who might be interested in this product? So these, they don't look like it, but this kind of looks, I made this based off of Saucony, and I forgot the art style, but I think it came out pretty cool. An intermediate use would be creating and hosting interactive polls to gather customer insights to see if there's any potential new designs, color schemes. And advanced, since these shoes are very particular and only a unique audience would potentially want them, the goal is to sift through customer reviews and feedback and identify trends and valuable insights on what they love, what they don't love, how can we improve, and things like that. All right, unleashing your business potential with ChatGPT. So mastering prompt engineering. Today, we're going to be learning about prompt engineering basics to achieve desired results for ChatGPT. Prompt engineering is, in my opinion, is similar to this image right here on the right. As you can see, it's one whole picture together. Even with the grid, you can still tell what it is and you still know what it is. But you start taking out little blocks, then the picture's whole with gaps, but if you implement it the correct way, you'll get exactly what you want out of it. You'll get the desired output. So we're going to be talking about precision and specificity. So understanding the importance of detailed instructions, defining the task. After you have those instructions, what do you want to do? What do you want ChatGPT to do with it? Contextual relevance. You're always going to want to know, instead of saying, give me a product description, I'm going to show you how to outline the product name, features, location, things like that. And iterative improvement is when you open ChatGPT, every new chat should remain a singular chat. So what I mean by that, if I could show my screen here. So every new chat, if I open a new chat, this chat should remain focused on what you intend to talk about. If this page is about, for example, your website, and you want to improve your website, keep this chat about your website. If you want to talk about, if you need answers for a different question or something like that, create it in a new chat. Naming your chats are helpful. As you see, I don't necessarily name all of mine, but naming the chats are useful. So that's just a random tip. Oh, and the reason why you want to keep it in one chat is because every time you tell ChatGPT it's wrong, it learns from its mistakes and it implements it going forward. So specificity, clear instructions to help ChatGPT understand the desired outcome and deliver relevant content. So here, what we're looking at is literally what you would copy and paste. So in the next screen, I'll show you a little bit more detail and some context. But what we want to look at is the prompt, so it knows exactly that there's instructions that follow. You have generate, which is like an action word, social media, which is like a medium, post is interchangeable. You have ideas for a brick and mortar store specializing in home decor. This part right here is very important, the user input part. The reason why is because I'm going to show you in my later stills where these user inputs, if you tailor them in a specific way, you don't ever have to write them again. And when you create a prompt, if you input your user inputs that are already templated, then from that point on, you have everything about your business outlined. What do I mean? So I changed the color of the slide so it's a little bit easier to see. So here we have generate. Generate is considered an action command. So generate can be interchanged with other action-oriented commands. So create, write, rewrite, summarize, enhance, explain, or simplify. Interchanging the action command gives you specific results. Your medium, for example, this right here could be write a social media post, or write a Instagram post, write a Facebook post. The reason why specificity, right, is because Facebook has a limit, Twitter has a limit, Instagram has a limit, Pinterest has a limit. So if you train it on, if you be specific on where that post is going, you'll get a better result because it knows the limitation of the post creation, right? And you have to think of the perfect prompt to be like a versatile template. So your action terms, create, write, these here at the bottom, are interchangeable. Your social media or your medium is also interchangeable. Your content types, if you're very specific, you could create, instead of just post, it could be, for example, generate social media captions, social media hashtags, DM responses, create social media outreach strategies, and beyond. You're not necessarily limited, but you just have to be specific on what you want. And if you input your business name, for example, like Cozy Homes, you're gonna get a response that involves your business as well. Oh, and a pro tip would be always encourage ChatGPT to think more. So phrases like think this through or outline it step by step are very, very powerful because you're making it think about the process before it executes the response.
Alex, I want to share an example here. So this is a real-time example. We are planning a campaign that it's launching on new products for a client. Their product is going to arrive between June 19th and July 10th. And I told ChatGPT that I needed a campaign in order to create the momentum to launch these products. I entered the product arriving dates. I told the chat that I'm planning to use 2 influencers, and I asked, please give me a content calendar with 10 posts for social media, considering that today is May 25th and that I want to cover the whole month of June. It outlined the 10 posts. It actually gave me the post, the strategy behind the post, what to write, and the kind of content I need to create, whether it is a carousel post or a video or like a teaser, a commercial. It was like so specific because I had prompted it with all of this information and I asked to think through the whole campaign execution.
Mm-hmm. No, making it double guess itself is a very, very powerful way to get it to answer what you want it to answer. So let me see, hold on real quick. Did I pass it? Yeah. So on this screen right here, if everybody's using an iPhone, or if you have an iPhone, or if you're not on your iPhone, if you wanted to take a screenshot of this picture, this slide, or take a photo with your phone, you could actually copy the text afterwards. Now, this is basically like a cheat sheet that I put together for everybody. If you use these prompts, you could have ChatGPT think a little bit more deeply and creatively. You just have to add in whatever your text is afterwards. So imagine it, think this through step by step, be very technical, reverse engineer this reference, brainstorm ways to. So this isn't something I pulled off the internet. These are things that I use now to get really great results. So please screenshot this. It'll be very helpful in the future. So this is an example of the output from the task that we already created, right? So here on the right-hand side, what you're seeing is this is actually ChatGPT's the app. So what I did is I just read it out loud. Now, normally you wouldn't write it like this, but at least you wouldn't speak into it, the phone, like this. But I wanted to show you an example of what the actual prompt word for word would generate. So all it did is gave me ideas. It didn't actually give me post, but because I didn't ask for posts, I only asked for ideas. So that's why it's writing to you and telling you, unleash your interior designer with cozy homes. Here's a sneak peek. It's giving you ideas on what you could do behind the scenes, sharing how we carefully select unique pieces to make our home cozy. So it did its job. It did what I wanted it to do because it's only giving me ideas. So that's where that be specific about what you want to make sure that you get the right thing. So task definition. Clearly define the goal or objective for ChatGPT to achieve within its capabilities. So here, just clearly articulate the goal or the objective, right? So the prompt is generate engaging content for an online store selling fashion accessories. The user input would be the product name, sparkling elegance necklace, product features, it's silver plated, crystal studded, adjustable chain, and the target audience is women aged 20 to 35 who appreciate a touch of elegance. Now, as the industries change, notice how the prompt is changing or the user input is changing. The reason why this is important is because if you just write generate engaging content for an online store selling fashion accessories, which some people probably have written, and you just put your business name, it doesn't necessarily know what product you want. And it might not always summarize it correctly. So therefore, it looks like it's giving you a wrong answer when you're not being specific about what you truly want, or you haven't outlined what those product features actually are. It just sees that it's a sparkling elegance necklace by the way that it's written on the page and doesn't give insight into the targeted audience. So a little bit of specificity matters. Now, this slide is about tasks. So I didn't want to overcomplicate it. So I showed this to you first. So this is just like the other one. If you wanted to copy or take a screenshot, this would be helpful. So now just for, let's see if I, just so you could see the rest of the slide, right? So remember, generate is an action term. Engaging is a term that we could change into, generate informational content, generate educational content, or write educational content. Everything's just interchangeable, depending on your industry. Now, the goal here is if you copy and paste this, you already have the user input structure for products, for features, and this is just a general prompt. Here is where the good part comes in when it comes down to task creation. So if you outline, for example, product name or product features, right? Notice here I have product name and I have product features, and I also have target audience. So each user input matches the input inside the curly brackets. Now, why is this important? This whole thing here, once you fill it out, just copy this all you have to do is basically fill out this middle part. And if you copy and paste this and put this into ChatGPT, it's going to give you a list of the product. It's going to give you a product description for that product. It's also going to give you social media posts with a focus on product features and the steps to complete it in 30 days on a content calendar for various types. So what does that look like? Let's see, sorry. Okay. Before I show you the goal, here's another cheat sheet for you. So if you screenshot this, this essentially will help you automate content creation. So it could be write compelling product description, design visually appealing infographics, create interactive quizzes, write persuasive ad copy for online. So you basically just copy and paste this, put it in ChatGPT, or create a template based off what I just showed you, that prompt I just showed you. And all of these will be very powerful to push forward any narrative or any objective you have online or even offline. This is the example of the response from the generate content for the online store. product name, product feature, target audience. And then notice this didn't change at all. I didn't change any of these. If you wanted to add in, for example, it says product name, social media content. If you wanted to add in, article suggestions, if you wanted to add in, captions or specific keywords, you could add all those in. There's definitely nothing stopping you. And all you really need to worry about once this is outlined from a template perspective is the information you add in the user input and what your prompt actually says or what your prompt aims to accomplish. So here's the descriptions that it gave me for the sparkling elegance necklace. Here's the social media content. So day 1, day 2, Facebook, Instagram. So it's interchanging. It tells me about the pattern, product post, customer service. So it's basically telling me use these right here interchangeably. So the best way to do this would be to take it and say, okay, well, I have days 1 through, let's say, 14. Give me days 15 to 31, and keep. If I feed it customer testimonials, if I feed it behind the scenes information or blogs, things like that, it could pull directly from your website without having to overthink it. Boom, contextual relevance. So context, everything on the internet these days due to organizations has to do with context. So in this example, it's for a restaurant, and our prompt is generate email outreach ideas for a local restaurant promoting a special menu for a holiday event. The user input is the restaurant name, and the holiday is Christmas, right? So now, if we look at that and how we could use this prompt, remember, generate can be create, write, rewrite, summarize. So create an Instagram outreach strategy for a new restaurant promoting bacon ice cream for a summer promotion, right? Restaurant name, something with ice cream, holiday, make up a holiday. But whatever you add in here, it tailors it in such a way that it really truly does help. So here's some examples. So here's the email outreach cheat sheet, basically. So consider the target audience's preference for holiday dining. So this is based off a restaurant. Highlight the unique features for the special menu. Emphasize festive atmosphere of the restaurant during the holiday season. Now, just a quick little hack. If you screenshot this, and let's say I know it's about restaurants, but you could copy all the text in the image and literally dump the whole thing inside ChatGPT and say, can you analyze this, and then put it in parentheses. Can you analyze this, parentheses, paste all of this information, and say, can you make it for, create this list for my industry, and then you could put whatever your industry is. And then now you have a templated prompts that could give you high quality email outreach ideas based off your industry that you originally took from here, which is totally okay. So this is what it actually gave me when I put in the prompt into GPT-4. It gave me the subject titles, and then from here, what it wants you to do is pick. So if let's say if I preferred subject 2, make your holidays merrier with taste of joy, Joy's Christmas feast, I pick subject 2, and then now it will actually build it all out entirely. So it's super helpful. I could also, Jess, do you think I should also like show in real time the like this prompt work?
Sure, let's grab an example. Kelly, you want to try? Kelly, you want to give Alex one example?
Oh, okay.
I picked your name because I know you came to the last event and you were talking to Alex. So
Yeah, no, that's great. All right, just let me know what you need from me.
So let's say we want to create some emails ideas, right? So for a local business,
She's a
how about your
recruiter.
local business? So a
Like, you want-
recruiter, right?
Yeah, recruiting business, yeah.
Okay, promoting. What would you say you want to promote?
Senior accountant.
Position,
Yeah.
right? For any like
say,
industry.
Manufacturing company.
Got it. And your business name is?
Anchor Talent and Consulting.
Good business name, Alex.
Oh yeah. And then promotion.
Pitch to manufacturing companies.
Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Competition. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. There you go. Now, there's several ways that I will look at email campaigns. One, as you can see, this is very wordy,
Yes.
right? Now,
Notice that.
so what I would do here is when it is very wordy, this is part of the last step, which is iterative improvement. So once we actually put it in here, notice how it's still writing because it's giving you ideas. Once it puts it all in there, we could tell it to improve itself. So as this writes, because remember here, I'm asking specifically for ideas, and all I gave it is the context of your business name. So I think my next slide. So this is what we're technically working on right now, iterative importance. Now, the goal here is, let me get to this slide, is what we want to basically request or create interaction feedback, right? So what that means is telling it the generated content, and it's a little weird because we have to talk to it like a human, but that's how it gets better. So the generated content is good, but can you make it more concise and focused? The tone of the response seems too formal. Can you make it sound more conversational? If you give it these examples, which this right here could be screenshotted as well, if you give it these type of responses, it gets better and better. So that's where the I always say the word wrong, but the iteration importance comes in. It's making sure that you tell it it's wrong so that it could get better and better every time.
Just like you will talk to somebody, right? Just it's your assistant.
Correct. Now, so this prompt, although extremely simple, right? All I gave it was the business name. And I told it it's a recruiting business and it's promoting a senior account position. So this is the one that's very long. This is one, it's like medium. This one's like medium as well. So now what the best way, let's say, I would say, we're doing this live, but the best way to take this would be is if you do like one of them, you would take it. And let's say if I just wanted to, can you make this more concise, straightforward? What I like to do is I like to add a little space to the bottom, put my little brackets, and then just throw it in the middle. The reason why I do it like that is because now I know that I use that top line kind of more as a header, and everything below this, the parentheses, is essentially the context or the reference that I'm giving to GPT. So now it knows I want it to make this email more concise and straightforward. And beautiful. So a lot shorter, a lot more direct. It's kind of like if this was a cold call or a cold email, if the person opened it, they could read it in just a glance versus having to read the whole thing. And it's all based off of just that initial text and letting it populate what we wanted to, what it was supposed to. So we gave it this. It gave us 3 different email types. I picked one and I said, look, make this a little bit more concise, more straightforward. And now I have this short, very direct. I'm from Anchor Talent. We're currently promoting a senior account role at prestigious manufacturing company.
I think
Just direct.
I think
What?
she recruits, she's pitching to accountants, right, Kelly?
Both. I pitched to both the accountants, trying to get accountants, and also the manufacturing companies to let them know, hey, I've got a manufacturing senior accountant.
Gotcha.
So it
Yeah.
makes sense.
So this is just a very super rough.
Yeah.
Now the reason why I say rough is because when we get into the part that let's see here, where we're focusing on details, it's kind of here where it's like, okay, well, we're gonna add the customer name, we're gonna add the website, we're gonna add, a little bit more detail. So if we give it a lot more context, and outline it in that way, we're gonna get much better responses.
Mm-hmm.
The example that I showed is just literally based off a general prompt and the business name. But the more details that you give, like the company name, the salary, you could incorporate that into the email or into the like the cold email if you're
If
you're doing cold leads.
With past emails that she has sent, and past emails have generated good responses. And I will say, for context, please learn my voice using 3 emails. Bam, 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 bam.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because for the prompt that I used, this was this is all fake as well, the artisticfeet.com, and basically create engaging product descriptions for a new artistic shoe company website. The company name, and here's the website, which this isn't real. And it just made up, these shoes that I'm, I guess selling. And I actually put one through Midjourney and they actually look pretty cool. So, if anybody wants to start a shoe company. So let's see. So this is I guess my personal favorite part, which is the business personas or the chatbots. So chatbots are essentially you preloading the chatbot with all of your information. And since it knows who you are or it knows about your company, then it gives you a much better response. We are currently using one. I actually built out maybe about 20 different ones. They're all like marketing specialists for 50/50 AI. And I would like to help you guys build one as well. So the way that it works is the chatbot is basically like the primer. You basically, if you define the system roles, you're able to get much, much better results. So what does that mean? So the initial instruction, what do we want the chatbot to do? The purpose, we could outline its tone, the way that it writes, the way that it speaks. We could tell it what its profession is, who it's supposed to interpret, who it's supposed to act like, if we want it to be a college professor, or if we want it to be a philosopher, anything. We feed it context. If we want specific medium or response format, so write this in email, write this in code, write a summary of this, the response length, brief, detailed, limited, concise, and then additional instructions, basically tone and creativity, and how much wiggle room are you allowing the machine to have. So these prompts right here are also kind of like a cheat sheet. So for example, assume the role of an experienced business owner in your industry. How would you introduce a complex industry concept to a non-expert? So basically anything inside the brackets is basically what you're going to replace. And all these questions kind of say the same thing, but in a different way. How would you, as a business leader in your industry, as an experienced professional in your industry, so you're telling them that they are the expert. You're telling ChatGPT, you're the expert in marketing, you're the expert in social media, but keep it one-to-one instead of one-to-many. So if you create a chatbot for email, for example, with your business information, it knows what pages you have on your website, it knows It could read your PDFs. It could read your scope of works, things like that. You get much clearer insights on what's working and what's not based off your data and how you ask it to analyze it. Supposedly, there's a story of a guy who told ChatGPT he has $100 and make him rich. And I don't know if supposedly he went viral and he got rich, but I don't know. But I do know that in a practical, feasible way, creating a chatbot for your business specifically is very, very powerful. And that's what I have. Any questions so far? I felt like that was a lot, even though it's only been 45 minutes.
I think they're thinking. I would like to add on the formatting part, a few things to point out, like when you're getting these prompts, when you try to copy and paste, which is actually what we advise you to do, because keep in mind that number one is there's a good chance that at some point, if you go this weekend and you use the tool, you're going to experience ChatGPT jail. They're not going to allow you to just use it 24/7. And then in case that happens, you always want to, kind of like have your data and copy and paste it in some other place. Now, just know that, for example, if you want to create a spreadsheet, you can, in fact, say, please write my content calendar using a spreadsheet with a chart with 7 columns, and then you can give it all the instructions and it actually can give you that. So I think that's pretty cool. Another specific prompt is I use monday.com. So if you use Monday or Asana, any project management tool, I'm actually asking the chat. I put my proposals, and once the proposals turn into projects, I ask, please create this proposal into a task for monday.com. And if you have used monday.com, you know that you can add subtask. You can actually generate from the ChatGPT the list ready to be copying and pasting to monday.com. And you can do it with as many details as possible. So it can project manage your entire projects, including who is the task owner and what is the due date for each of those. So with that, you actually just got yourself a project manager with a salary of about part-time of $2,000 a month. So I think that between us giving you the full social media manager and the project manager, you just gain $3,000 a month between those two roles.
So I did want to show, so this is one of the prompts that I showed for task definition. As I mentioned before, if you just update the user inputs, and let's say if you add a couple business name, things like that, if you just copy and pasted that whole thing directly, right? And this is just the example part. These are the type of structures that you would essentially see where it adds a product description. It's probably going to give me a line break. And remember, it's not 100% only use ChatGPT, like making sure that you do slight edits, you read the content, things like that. That's how you're going to make sure you get the best results. Now, part of the iterative, where you have to like the iterations, I'll show you how you can do that pretty quickly here too. So day 15, day 10, oh, it's giving me all the days. Let's say if I just hit stop, it looks good, right? And say I did want a small change. You go up here, hit this little edit button, go to the bottom, press enter, and then keep it simple, think it through.
Oh.
And now, so maybe it won't write so much when it comes down to product description. All right, actually, it wrote a little bit, made it a little bit tighter. Boom, day 1, day 2. So video demonstrating decibel change. Notice it's giving you the photo photo of the sparkling necklace, video demonstrating decibel chain, necklace in a beautiful setting. Boom, ta-da. So since this right here, it's telling you this pattern could continue, right? There's a couple ways you could use this. You could take this and have it do the rest of all your social media posts. You could have it, okay, let's say, can you create this in a table format with the proper columns? Since it's contextual, it should know that what it's giving me is based off the social media that I requested.
Nice.
So now I have the platform, the content type, and the post, and then I could even take it a step further from there and say, okay, well, give me this the scheduled day, give me the posting time, and even though it's not connected to your social media or to your data inputs, you know, if you go to Facebook, then or Instagram, I believe it tells you like the right posting times. And since I asked for a table, notice how it's giving me more days versus here it only gave me 3 days.
Yes, and Alex, I also used that table format to actually create graphics on Canva. Canva has a bulk upload, and then if you import a CVS file, then you can create, like I created in less than a minute, 90 postcards with quotes using the ChatGPT and the CVV, uploading it to Canva.
Yeah, I believe it. So I think the last slide that I have is, these are the personas. This. Okay, so that's a good question. And here, oh, so thank you for joining the webinar. And this list right here is a list of about 20 different tools, AI tools.
Nice.
Here's the software, here's the description, here's the software purpose, and here's the URL. So since the world is changing and, you know, there's a lot of content and products and software out there, these tools can help you. Please feel free to look at them, download them, play with them. You know, I'm a very big advocate on, you know, just seeing what some of these could do for you. And if they could help, then, hey, maybe you could save some on this side and then invest in AI. You invest in creating your own little chatbots where they do everything for you, and then you go from there. Yeah, and that is it. I think that's all of them. Oh yeah, I'm your host, Alexander Rodriguez. If you want to schedule a call and we can talk about how we can help your marketing, it's the QR code in the middle. And if you would like to follow us on Instagram, it's the QR code on the far right. Yeah. And if you have any questions, let us know.
I would like to show them how I actually made a website with one of the AI tools, which is really, really awesome. So can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Yes, awesome. So this website is from Nuala. And then actually she came to our lead generation webinar a month ago. And then by then we were offering that we can create a website and content and a lead magnet for you for the special price of $2,500. So I want to show you how by now we were able to create the entire thing. Of course, we use ChatGPT for the content, but Nuala went through it and corrected it and, you know, made her edits. So we were able to do the blogs. We were able to do all the services descriptions, thanks to the ChatGPT. And this is the part that I was referring to with the aromatherapy blends. I did ask the chat to create for me basically like the blends. And I want to show you how they came up. I think they are here. They're somewhere. Hold on. Oh, free ebook. So I was able to do with ChatGPT basically what I call 30 days of self-love. So all of these blends were created by the chat. These are 30. So using Canva, I had this template and I uploaded a CVV file and it populated the name of the blend, the recipe with the oils in under a minute. And that's one of the reasons why we say that using these tools, you're definitely are going to increase your ROI. So for example, when it comes to marketing, packages that in the past, because they were so costly for us from the cost perspective, we were only limited to, we were very limited with the deliverables. Now, an investment in a package like this, for example, $2,500, I think that's a steal, in my opinion, because, this is easily a project that it would have, cost about $7,000, right? So that's just an example of the things that we can get to do for you to really enhance your online presence, whether you want to launch an ebook, whether you want to revamp your services, or even create a campaign for lead generation. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I did leave you guys our Visita link so that we can have a conversation and see where you are at, how is your online presence looking, and then taking advantage and see how we can revamp that. And I'm so happy that we were able to cover this in an hour because it's a lot. I always like to
Actually,
ask,
I have
what's their favorite part?
I'm actually adding the presentation in the chat.
Nice.
Yeah, so it makes it a little bit easier for the copy and paste aspect. But I'm definitely, if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer some.
Kelly, Jen, Martha.
No, it was very insightful.
Clear.
It's still
easy.
overwhelming
I
sometimes trying to
was,
figure it out.
yeah, I was definitely trying to keep it simple. I mean, honestly, it's like 40 slides, but it's a lot to process. But like, if you get the structure right, or you combine like the 3 structures on the sheet, you'll get some really, really nice results. And especially training it on your business and telling it like, this is the name, this is what we do, these are our services, these are our products, we've been around since X, our potential target audience is in this age range, and they're male, they're female, like whatever it may be. Like, if you do it like that and structure it, you're always going to have something very, very solid when it comes down to your business.
Yeah, this is more than I can, than I expected. And it's a lot to process, like you said, but it's very insightful, very wonderful. And I was just asking about how to ask ChatGPT to do comments in Spanish, but I guess you just write this in Spanish.
Yeah.
Or how do you do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in mine, like, it knows already that I can be like Dora the Explorer. So you can definitely, just talk like Dora the Explorer. And then, and just say, I need this input in English and in Spanish. So then it just tells you the output in both languages.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
One observation, because I know that Alex mentioned that it can replace SEO. No, it would not just yet, because the data from ChatGPT, it's not the data that Google uses to rank your pages. So by all means, don't think that we are just shoveling content from ChatGPT and uploading it to your website without optimizing. That's not the case. You still need to optimize, understanding how to best optimize the website, because it's not like, actually Google is it's against ChatGPT, right? In a sense that the way that they rank your content, you still need to use Google searchable, tools in terms of analyzing how well you could rank, if that makes sense.
Sure. Thank you.
So for the presentation that I sent in the chat, it is web-based. Tome is actually really, really cool. You could view it. It's like a left to right kind of swipe thing. So either on your mobile phone or on the computer, it's left to right. So if, like on the far right, you hit the arrow, it should move over. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Actually, so just to show you real quick how cool Tome is. Let's close this. So let's say if I did want to create a new presentation. So create a presentation. So this works with AI as well.
They cannot see your
For
screen,
example,
Alex.
oh, why not? Oh, I thought I was sharing. I'm sorry.
No, I was sharing and I think that's why.
Can you see it now?
Yeah.
So create a, so this is Tome, and then here you could pick prompts. It has a little bit of everything, gives you prompt writing tips. You could import documents, things like that. So if you go to create a presentation about a dog walking service.
What?
And then from here, it'll start building the presentation for you. And then on the right-hand side, it'll also generate images based on that one line of text that I inputted. Now, I'm definitely not going to say this replaces PowerPoint, but I think that this gives you an idea, a very good idea of if you're not savvy with PowerPoint, if you're not great at creating these presentations and things like that, and you want something to show somebody, all I wrote was that this is a dog walking service. And as you can see, it created an entire deck based off of that whenever it loads. So this is the agenda, why choose our dog walking service. It wrote it all out as well. Our experienced team, and they're trained. Benefits of daily exercise. So like things like this are super valuable, but you know, if you upload your own documentation, you'll get better results, same as ChatGPT. For example, if I click on this right here, notice it says AI edit, right? And I could rewrite, I could adjust the tone, I could make it excited, and I'll rewrite it right then and there. So a lot of advantages with AI. You know, right now I'm pushing my computer with everything I have on it right now, but yeah, there's some cool things. So check out Tome, which is where I made the presentation. And that's it. That's all I got, Jess.
Well, I am so happy that you guys were able to make it. And then yes, grab that link so that we can have a conversation about your marketing needs, and then stay tuned. We definitely want to keep pressing on this topic. I actually have a bunch of articles pending to be uploaded. The articles are going to cover ChatGPT use cases, and then do's and don'ts, because, you know, especially when you're starting, one of the things I can tell you is that you need to separate the time to educate yourself. It is going to hurt your brain unless you really prepare, because it's just something new. It's like everything. Just remember when you refused to get an iPhone because you needed the keypad, right? Our brain hurts whenever we need to process something new, but it's just what is going to help us to go to our next level, where we can have freedom.
Yep,
All right.
I agree.
All right.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Bye.